Hello, my dear students. I hope you all are fine. In this class, we'll discuss the poem Wanderthirst. The poem is written by Gerald Gold. The name of the poet is Gerald Gold. He is fascinated by nature. Fascinated means attracted. So he is attracted by nature. He is mad about traveling and has thirst to travel far and wide. The poet has a wish for going to different places. He wants to see the different places which are unknown to him. So the name of the poem is Wanderthirst. Let's move forward. This is stanza number 1. Stanza number 1 is Beyond the east the sunrise, beyond the west the sea, and the east and west the wander thirst that will not let me be. It works in me like madness, dear, to bid me say goodbye. For the seas call and the stars call, and oh, the call of the sky. So, this is the beautiful stanza. Now, let's do the explanation. The first line is Beyond the east the sunrise, beyond the west the sea. In this stanza, the poet knows that beyond the east there is sunrise. Sun rises from the east side, and beyond the west there is sea. Okay, now he is just telling us about directions. From the east side, he can see sunrise, and the west side, he can see the sea. Okay, and east and west, the wander thirst that will not let me be. His desire to gain knowledge does not let him fix to one place. So he cannot sit at one place for the whole life. He wants to gain knowledge. He wants to see different places. Okay. So wanderthirst means desire to travel. When you have wish to travel to different places. Okay. Next is it works in me like madness, dear, to bid me say goodbye. Nature forces him to bid goodbye to all his friends and family members. So he has to say goodbye to his family members because he wants to go to different places. He wants to travel a lot. Okay. For the seas call, the stars call, and oh, the call of the sky. Even the nature around him, like the sea, the sky, and the stars, they are attracting him to explore unseen lands. So, who's calling him? Seas, stars, okay, sky also. So, all the things are calling him and they are calling him to explore different lands. So, this was the first stanza. Now, let's move to stanza number 2. Stanza number 2 is I know not where the white road runs, not what the blue hills are, but a man can have the sun for a friend and for his guide a star. And there's no end of voyaging when once the voice is heard, for the rivers call and the roads call, and oh, the call of the bird. Here in this stanza, the poet doesn't know where the white road runs. Okay, he doesn't know where he actually wants to go. Okay, but he just wants to travel on these roads. And he doesn't know what the blue hills are. He may be a stranger to strange place, but he can take the sun as his friend and star as his guide. So he's saying that I'm not worried if I don't know where the roads are going. Okay, what are the blue hills? He's saying that who will guide me? He will be guided by sun and the stars. Okay, so if the question comes in your exam and will ask you that who are the guides of the poet, then you can simply say that sun and the stars they are the guide of the poet. Okay, and there is no end of voyaging. Voyaging means when you go through the sea, go to different places to the through the sea. Okay, so here if a man hears the calls of river, the roads, and the birds, Okay, that is call of beautiful nature, he will never lose his interest for visiting beautiful scenes and sights. So he's saying that he can just hear the calls of river is calling him, roads are calling him, even the birds are also calling him. So he cannot stay at his home for the whole life. He wants to go to different places to explore nature. So this is your stanza number 2. Now let's move to stanza number 3. This is your last stanza. Okay. Yonder the long horizon lies, and there by night and day the old ship draw to home again, the young ship sail away. And come I may, but go I must. And if men ask you why, you may put the blame on the stars and the sun and the white road and the sky. So this is again a very beautiful stanza. Yonder means at some distance. Horizon means the line at which you just feel that earth and sky they are meeting, but actually they don't meet, but it seems that they are meeting. Okay, so he's saying that at some distance he can see horizon. Okay, the poet says that if he looks around, he can easily see the horizon. In the sea, he observes the return of the old ships. So here, the poet is comparing himself to the ship. Okay, so you have this question also in your back exercise that the poet is comparing himself to whom. Then you can easily write that he compares himself to ships. Like ships come and go daily. Okay, like ships also. Poet is like ships. He also wants to come home and then go again. Okay, he compares himself to ships. Like a ship, the poet comes and go time to time. So he just want to lead his life like a ship. Come I may. Come I may means his return is not sure. He's saying that I may come, I may not come. So his life is like that. He's not sure where he's going, but he just wants to go somewhere. Okay. But go I must. This means he has to go under any condition. He's saying that under any condition, I cannot stay at my home. I must go. Okay. If men ask him about his long trips, then he puts the blame on nature. He's saying that don't ask me why you travel a lot. Just put the blame on stars, sun, white road, and the sky. They all are so beautiful elements of nature that he cannot control himself and he must go. So he's saying that don't put blame on me that you just roam a lot, you wander a lot. Just put blame on stars, sun, and white road and sky. Okay, all these elements demand that he keeps traveling and exploring the beauties of nature. So, this is the end of the poem. I hope you understood all the stanzas. And now, your homework is just to recite the poem at home and try to do the back exercise at home. I'll meet you in the next video with a new topic. Till then, take care of yourself.